Hello, everybody. I'm CJ Miller. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana. Across the Red River is beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana, and I'm here with my dinner. Now, this is an end piece cut off of a pretty large Boston butt pork roast or picnic roast or whatever, and I have large chunks of American cheese. So this is my really getting back into the keto habit, which is um, lots of protein from meats and everything, and uh, cheeses and things like that, but just kind of backing off on carbohydrates. I got a little carb heavy during the holidays. Now it's time to back out of that. And I'm going to do this for about a month, taking the occasional break as necessary, but I'm full on keto. And my goal is to maintain this keto diet, as I typically do loosely anyway. So it's just going to be kind of a tightening up on those rules. And I want to do that until at least until my vacation that I'm going to take in January, going around January the 19th. I'll be in Florida. So, um, that's why I definitely want to work on getting into the best shape that I can. Um, this is, I forget how good just good old fashioned American cheese is. I'm so into uh, cheese, various flavors, and setting out many different types of cheese, especially Gouda. But American cheese is very similar to a smoked Gouda. Since I started like pinching off and nicking it, tasting it, and I haven't stopped. I've had about 3 or 4 bites since we've been talking. Okay, let's talk about this roast. Very large, and I just cut the end piece off, and so it was standing like this, and this whole blackened part on top of it, that is basically the fats. Um, the strip of fat that I left on top, and I put it in the oven with that on top. Now, what I did was to create a sauce for this. Um, Balsamic vinegar, Kitchen Bouquet. Now, you've heard me talk about Kitchen Bouquet. That's a great product. Kitchen Bouquet. Garlic powder. Um, a packet of onion soup mix. Um, and a little bit of cayenne pepper and some red pepper flakes. So all the wet ingredients. And the mayonnaise. I used mayonnaise, Hellmann's mayonnaise, balsamic vinaigrette, Hellmann's mayonnaise, and the Kitchen Bouquet. Stirred them together, put them across the top of the pork. And then to that, I sprinkled on the cayenne pepper, the red pepper. Okay? Then to that, I put in the onion soup mix. I just put on top of it the onion soup mix, and to do anything else in particular, red pepper flakes. Also put a few red pepper flakes on there just for accent. But the reason why I season heavy like that is because in the process of cooking, and this has to go into an oven, and I put it uncovered. And anything that was left in the bowl of that balsamic vinaigrette, anything that didn't just heavily get ladled over the top of it, I actually diluted it and used it to put a little moisture in the bottom of the pan that I was cooking in, to keep moisture going. That also helps. And what I did for this, because I'm doing it to slice, not to shred. If you're shredding your pork, you want to cook it really slow, 250, 275, and you want to go for several hours. As long as you can, do that, as long as you can hold off. Cook it really, really, really slow. But I wanted a crispy strip of fat on the top of this. Basically, turning it into a crackling on top of the, listen to this. Yeah, it's basically just blackening it and turning it into a crackling, like a really, really burnt up bacon. It's really, really good for texture and everything, and really works with the flavor. It gives a good smoky, roasted, charring kind of flavor. It's really good for this type of thing. But then we're gonna have all that juiciness and tenderness in the inside of the roast, and I can have as much of this as I want. Although I shouldn't be eating, I can't like have a constant, steady diet of this type of pork, because if I did that all the time, then I'd end up getting my arteries irrigated or something like that, But having a pork roast like this, and this is a big one, so I have to finish off. So I'm going to eat like this for a couple of days. But yeah, it's great. Very crispy. We want that. This is the kind, if you want to, you can cut off these end pieces and serve them separate. If you're serving like like in a restaurant or several people or something like that, you can cut off the end piece and then just slice the pork and serve the pork in slices without the end pieces for presentation on a plate, and then reserve your end pieces here and use that for your stuffed potatoes, things like that, or whatever, people, end pieces can be served all on their own if you wanted to. This is really a thick cut, so, but yeah, it's very delicious. Let's just get in here and we talk about the taste. I cooked this, just to say, so you can know it. I cooked it at 375 for 4 hours, because that's how big of a roast this was, and I wanted that to get done. So let me get in here and taste it. Hang on, I need 2 hands to cut it. And yes, here we go. And I gotta tell you, along with everything else that I told you about, all those seasonings, I did put a fair amount of black pepper on top of the pork loin. Also, I did not add additional salt. Pork itself tends to be kind of salty. There was salt in the onion soup mix and in the mayonnaise, so I did not need to add more salt. This is a really good, look at this, how tender it is. I'm just pulling it apart with a fork. Wow. This is delicious. Do you remember that old commercial pork, the other white meat? This has the powerhouse flavor of dark meat. So I don't know where they get around to pork. I don't know what that's about, but when your cooking is so tender, you can pull it apart, and you can get that crispy, crackling texture. If you're concerned with your heart, we all are at my age. If you want to, you can let the young bucks, young people, you can let them eat that. The majority of that crackling, But since I live alone, I guess I will be eating it all myself. Now, listen, you can, if you want to, cooking this, if you want to, you can cut away that fat that's on the top of it. And I'm going to well, no, it's already packed up. I was going to say I could show you what they look like raw, but there's actually, you can see pictures of them. It is a Boston butt pork roast, or shoulder cut. It's really from the shoulder. And check it out. Oh my God, this is very flavorful and delicious. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's a powerhouse. And balance it out. Have a little cheese or something, So I'm going to be able to have this for a couple of days. Uh, and I can have as much as I want. That's the thing about meat keto diet, the keto food. As long as I'm watching my calories, which is to stay under 50 grams of carbs. I'm sorry, watching my carbs. As long as I stay under 50 grams of carbs, I can eat as much food as I want to, as long as I'm not exceeding those carbs. So I can pretty much sit around and just eat all of this pork. I won't. That's a lot of pork, but you know. Okay. God, this is so delicious. Love you guys. Bon appetit. Have a great night.